So in 2026, you're going to pray more than before. Start having your prayer plan. Don't be pushed by circumstances into prayer.
Hello, my dearest family. Welcome to Kings Global TV. So today, I'm with our man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakilome. So during the December communion service, our man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris, gave a prophecy. All right. So this prophecy is regarding 2026, what we are to expect in 2026. So he also made a statement that when we enter 2026, that is going to be an extra time for us to be raptured out of this world. All right. So before then, don't forget that Pastor Chris' birthday was just yesterday. So don't stop wishing him happy birthday, because this man has been a blessing to the world. He has been a blessing to our generation. So when we have opportunity like this to celebrate him, let's give him our best to it. All right. So I'm going to play a prophecy that was that he made during the communion service that we just recently had with him. So you hear this prophecy and know what you are going to be expecting in 2026. Watch this, then I will be right back.
More than you ever did before. For example, you're going to be praying more than you ever prayed before. You're going to be praying more than you ever prayed before. What does that even mean? That you're going to be praying more than you ever prayed before. I believe we do have a choice in the spirit. All right? Can I tell you what the choice is in the spirit? We do have a choice. Either we begin praying more than we ever prayed before by choice, or we're going to be made to pray more than we ever prayed before. Which one would you choose? That's up to you. But remember, this has to do with individuals as well as churches and the Church of Christ as a whole. I'll give you a little bit of an illustration. I won't have to tell you the whole story. But I was years ago, we were getting ready to fly. We had been away for some programs, and we were taking off from Johannesburg. So all the time as the hours due, and the moment got closer and closer to when we should be flying, I was very uncomfortable in my spirit. Unusually uncomfortable in my spirit. And I was saying, Lord, why am I so uncomfortable in my spirit about flying today? Do I cancel the flight? Do I reschedule? Do I why? What's happening? And every now and then I will sneak away to go pray. Pray. Just wasn't sure. So I thought, is something wrong with the weather? Now, weather in Johannesburg was beautiful, and there were no expectations of anything unusual. Weather was beautiful. So I thought maybe there's a problem over in Lagos. And for the first time, I had to, get on my device and try to find out what the weather was in Lagos by the time we should be landing. I thought maybe there's a problem over there. Is the weather bad? Something wrong? I checked, nothing unusual. So I prayed again. So while I was still on my knees and talking to the Lord, He responded in an interesting way. First, He gave me an instruction to go earlier than scheduled. So not like you go, arrive at your time and move even later, but earlier. So that was one. Then He said something interesting, and that's the reason I'm giving you this story in the first place. He said, this is one flight in which you're going to be praying a lot. I said, praying a lot. So should I cancel then? He says, no, you go. And I'm going to be praying a lot about this flight, in this flight. Yes. I didn't know what that meant. So I told everybody, we're moving, no lateness, make sure we're there earlier. So we arrived earlier at the airport. And since we're early, I said, so we might as well just go. We're already here. Let's go. We don't have to wait till the time we scheduled. We're here. And the captain was ready, and they said, oh, good, we go. Now, as we were moving to the plane, there was this unusual breeze. But, I didn't think anything serious. Just hurry and get in the plane anyway. So we got in the plane. Fasten your seatbelts. The moment the plane got off, once the wheels were off the ground, the wind collected it. And the next thing we knew was vroom to the side. We're supposed to be going like this, but the plane goes like this. And then carried up. And it was like paper in the air. Sideways, to the left, then to the right, then up, then down. And these guys were revving the most. You could hear the sound of the plane struggling in the wind. I got it now. No wonder he said you're going to be praying. Of course, we let out powerful tongues. Reverend Tom was there, Reverend Ray, Evangelist Dr. Eddie Owase. It was time to pray. And this time, not just praying quietly. We opened our mouths. Talking to the wind, talking to the plane, talking to whatever was out there. You have to hear us now. we knew that we couldn't be asking the pilot what's going on, do what. No. We have to use our mouths to control this thing. But it wasn't going to be for just 1 minute. This was on for quite a while. I'd never been in a flight like that. The pilots themselves had never been in a flight like that. And here was the interesting thing the man said later. He said, if we had left later than we did, he said, we would have not been able to leave the South African airspace. It was so bad. The weather was terrible. And then they said they hadn't had such a weather for 90 years. 90 years. Buildings were destroyed. All this followed, this was a terrible thing. But we were in the air and we were really praying and praying and praying and praying and praying. Up, we prayed. It went down. We prayed to the side, this way and that. But we continued praying. But I remembered what the Lord said. So I knew I was not supposed to stop the praying. I was to continue the praying until there was no need to pray. But we prayed a long time. Do you get it now? So when the Lord says you're going to pray more than ever before, you better make a decision whether you're going to pray by choice because you love the Lord and you want to do what He told you to do, or else you're going to be praying and really praying because of circumstances. Which one do you choose? The first one, we have a choice. We have a choice. So for that one, don't wait. Don't wait. You just begin. Begin. Start having your prayer plan now. Okay? So in 2026, you're going to pray more than before. Start having your prayer plan. Don't be pushed by circumstances into prayer. Make the decision. Because the Lord told us already, men ought always to pray and not to faint. Agreed? Okay.
Welcome back, my dearest family. Yes, as you have just heard from my dear man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris, one of the things he emphasized this on was prayer. He said, pray. If not, you'll be forced to pray when you are not supposed to pray. All right. So he emphasized mostly on prayer. He also talked about what happened to him when he was about to board a flight to Lagos. All right. So he said they have to pray for a very long time. He said he was so disturbed in his spirit about that flight. All right. So he didn't know what was about to happen, but he kept feeling in his spirit that he has to pray. He kept feeling that something is wrong. All right.
Why? Because
so
they can
prayed.
turn your life
he talked
off.
about how he prayed in the plane with the pastors that were there with him. All right. So in all of this, pastor is just trying to talk about prayer. He said we are going to be praying a lot in 2026, because he has also said that in 2026 that will be entering extra time from 2026, that we are going to be on extra time. So that's very important for us as a Christian to take charge of this opportunity and pray. All right. because we know when the rapture is going to happen, but nobody knows the main day, the day and the time that is going to happen. All right. So if you have been following Pastor Chris long enough, you will know by the word the timing and when the rapture is going to happen. All right. So take opportunity of those words that he have said. Don't take it lightly. When our man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris, declare things like this, we ought to take it seriously. Now that he's talking about prayer, we have to pray. The Bible has also asked us to pray without ceasing. So we are going to pray this 2026. He said, pray more than you pray. Pray more than you always pray. All right. So if you used to pray like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours a day,
you are responsible for your faith, my brothers, my sisters. You are responsible for your faith. You got to do something about your faith. Don't let your faith weaken out. Build your faith. Stay your faith. Strengthen your faith.
God has a plan for each and every one of us. That's why he wants us to pray at this time. So take full advantage of this opportunity and make sure you pray and intercede for your nation and pray for your city and pray for your families and pray for souls in the world. All right. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, this is your opportunity. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you always be updated. Thank you for watching and God bless you. See you on my next video.